Welcome back to Slushie Review. This is Keith.
And this is Chris.
And today we are doing Marvel's Eternals. Movie just came out. It came out on the 5th of November. Remember.
Oh boy. There's a movie I never saw.
I've seen it once. It had a young Thor's wife in it.
I thought you were going to say Pat.
Was it Batman?
Is it Batman? Same person.
Yeah. I was going to say Batman, then I was like, no, it wasn't Batman. It was Batman.
Natalie Portman.
I forget.
Didn't they shave her head in the movie?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I saw it like 25 years ago. It came out 20 years ago, but I
never
saw
saw it. But
I
I thought I read something or saw something about like they shaved her head in it or something.
I believe it.
I don't know.
It was like it wasn't post-apocalyptic, but it kind of was. I don't know. It was weird. But Agent Smith was in it.
Ooh.
He was or no.
Hugo Weaving?
Shit. Yeah, he was the mask guy, I think. But I could be wrong. What movie was that?
What?
The movie we're talking about.
V for Vendetta?
So, he was V. Okay. I was thinking, in my head, I was like, yeah, he was a V. And I was like, no, wait, this is a different movie. But yes, he was V.
Okay.
V was the guy in the mask, like a little Zorro. Not Zorro, but he was whatever mask it was. That's Hugo Weaving. And then she was I don't fucking remember what that movie was about. I honestly have no idea. I saw it once. And then for about a good 10 years, I used to always post remember on November 5th. I did not do it this year. Because I was like, do I even know what this means? And I don't.
I don't know what it means.
Because I don't remember. But I feel like it means, I feel like I know what it means. And I feel like the people who quote it, they don't live that life. It's the same thing that I learned, was it last year or whatever year, when someone's like, oh, everybody wishes they were Brad Pitt in Fight Club, but you're not. You're not. You don't want to tear down the man. You are the man. And I was like, fair. Same thing with V for Vendetta. That was about not listening to the man. A lot of these people are the man. All the people who say comply, you're the man. If you think everybody should comply with police, you're the man. Fighting the power, raging against the machine, that's not who you are. You're not. Stop acting like you are. Just because you like the music doesn't mean you're down with them. Because they don't want you. There's a whole Twitter thread of, who was it? I think it was Rage Against the Machine. Maybe it was I don't know who these people are in real life, but it was either him, like the lead singer, made a post about Donald Trump a couple years ago. Somebody responded, oh, look, another musician with no political background making a post about politics because we should listen. Go blah, blah, blah. He was like, well, first off, Rage Against the Machine. The machine is people like him. Second off, I have a master's in political science. I was like, damn, you suck at whatever you thought. You suck. You suck at life because you idiot. You fucking idiot. I hate people. But either way, that's off. Nice tangent.
I love when people get shut down. That's why I rarely step to anybody. Because I will get shut down. It will happen.
Not if you're right.
That's fair. But often when people get me fired up, it's not about... Usually, it's not about right or wrong. It's about, like, I think your opinion is stupid.
That could be right and wrong, too.
Yeah, but it's usually about, like, movies or something.
People can be right and wrong about that, too. We know this. We do know this.
The whole basis of this platform is that. So I mean...
You've said this many a times, and I love it. Every time you say that, you're like, I don't want to... My opinion doesn't matter. Also...
Here it is.
That's like literally, like verbatim what you say. Like, my opinion doesn't matter. Also, guess what? Yeah. This is what this whole thing is about.
Yeah.
You just got to lean into it now, Chris.
I guess.
Got to lean into it.
I got a lot of strong opinions, and you're all going to hear about it.
Yes. Only if they're good ones.
Yes.
Sometimes.
No, all the stinkers, I'm going to keep to myself. Or we're going to edit them out.
Maybe. I like a good, I don't know.
Like, let's refer back to this one episode where Chris was a jackass. Play it for everybody.
I got those clips saved.
I'm sure.
I
hope so.
You're right. It's just me being an idiot. More than likely.
Until it's not the case, until they exist, and then I'm like, oh,
no, it's just me.
And I'll live in fear of it until.
I try to make myself sound intelligent and not like an idiot when I'm editing. I do. I'm like, ugh, Keith.
Pretty easy job, I would say.
No, not really. Well, yeah. I just delete my whole voice. I'm like, easy. I'm the producer, just like Chris talk. Okay, got it.
Just edit me out and replace it with like Michael Caine or something.
Yeah, right. I bet you can do a great Michael Caine voice. Maybe. Cheerio.
It's gonna sound like the fucking Geico Gecko or some shit. Like, here's my faults. Only Eternals.
There it is.
Master Wayne.
There it is.
He's always Alfred.
No, yeah. That's what I was thinking of Alfred. I was like, I hope he says something about burning down the forest. That would be great. But you didn't. That's okay. Either way, back to the Eternals. For this episode, we picked pink lemonade slushies. Delicious.
Yes.
Even though I had a blue and red one 3 hours ago. That was also delicious.
I thought about stopping at 7-Eleven on the way over here earlier today. I was like, "Ooh, I might go there in between movie and recording."
Yeah.
And I was like,
We drove by it.
I already had a milkshake today, and then I ate candy during the movie. And I'm gonna have 2 slushies. I might as well just like sign up for diabetes at a certain point. So it's like something's got to give.
Okay, so you know how I've been telling you I've been watching the show Superstore.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, he's like a floor manager or something, trying to get this one lady to listen to him. And then the assistant manager, he's a floor manager. She's above him as the assistant manager. She's like, you should listen to me. He's like, you just hate it that I'm in charge. She was like, in charge? In charge of what? You're in charge of nothing. It's like, you have diabetes. You're not even in charge of your own glucose. Lost it. I lost it. I was like, this is the best show ever.
Why do you assume that I have diabetes? You know what? Let's go have a glass of apple juice and tell me you're not a diabetic.
The sound you made standing up led me. See? I love it.
I have diabetes too, but you don't hear me talking about it. I don't have it. I'm quoting The Office. Sorry for anyone listening out there. Surprised we quote The Office a lot. Also, surprised I don't have diabetes that I know of.
Surprised we do quote The Office a lot.
Yes.
I guess we should get into this movie. Movie we just saw. Movie we'll let you know what it's like. Right back after these sponsors. Us. Thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Slushie Review on Twitter at Slushie Review. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search Slushie Review. We pop up. We're the first result. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, coming soon, Instagram. Follow us on IG.
The gram.
At Slushie Review Podcast.
Yes.
We just started it. Need some followers. Need some likes. All right. Welcome back to Slushie Review. We're going to get straight into it. Let's go with the cast with young Chris for the Eternals. By the way, what we didn't say, spoiler alert for this review of Eternals that came out November 5th, a week ago. Spoiler alert. One last time, because I'm not telling you again.
There we go.
Spoiler alert. Now, on to the cast with young Chris.
All right. Cast alert. All right, the spoilers in this movie are Gemma Chan as Cersei, Richard Madden as Icarus, Angelina Jolie as Thena, making her Marvel. These are all new actors to the MCU. as we know it. And new characters. Angelina Jolie as Thena. Salma Hayek as Ajak. Kit Harington as Dane Whitman. Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo. Leah McHugh as Sprite. Brian Tyree Henry as Festus. Lauren Ridloff as Makari. Barry Keoghan as Druig. Ma Dong-suk as Don Lee as Gilgamesh. Harish Patel as Karun. Bill Skarsgård as Crow. We have Haz Slyman as Ben, who is Festus's husband. Aside from that, we have Esai Daniel Cross as Jack, their son, getting into the post-credit scene a little bit. Again, spoiler alert. We have Harry Styles as Eros/Star Fox. Patton Oswalt was in there as, what was the guy's name? Pip
the Troll.
Yeah. Aside from that, bunch of small parts that we're not really going to get into, and then David Kaye as the voice of Arishem, the Celestial, who, spoiler alert, created all of them. There. Booyah! That was the cast really quickly of Eternals. Again, all newcomers to the MCU. A lot of fairly well-known actors. Most of them lived through the movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, to also be fair, one was already dead the entire movie.
Yeah.
We just didn't know. So, and also Gemma Chan, she was in a Marvel movie before.
Oh shit, she was?
Yeah, I read that somewhere. She was in Captain Marvel. I don't know what's wrong with my phone because it's not clicking.
Well, that's my bad on that one.
No. You didn't know. No, I didn't know either. I don't know what she was in. I don't know what like whatever I'm trying to say. Yeah, Minerva. Who's that? Yeah, I think she was like in makeup and stuff.
I don't remember. Was she a Skrull?
She had to have been. She might have been his wife. That makes more sense.
Let's see.
That might have been Nick Skrull. That's what I wanted to say, but that's not who I'm thinking of. Talos' wife. Maybe.
She might have been a Kree.
Or a Kree. I don't know.
Because Jude Law has the hyphenated name.
Yeah, you're right.
And so does she.
She could have been, but she definitely died then.
She might have been in that like Kree task force that she was on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're right.
I need to watch that movie again.
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen it in a while.
I think she was that because there's like 4 other people with like hyphenated names, and I think they were all like Kree.
That gotta be it.
And got.
Yeah, they definitely died.
Okay, well then I screwed up on that one, but
you didn't know.
I didn't know.
You didn't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Anybody out there want to come after me for it?
I will not. But the only reason I said it because I looked at like the trivia and it said that the what's that called? The director came up to her after she did Crazy Rich Asians and was like, "Hey, get you back at Marvel." And she was like, "Sure." That's I just read it, so it is what it is. But I'll let you continue.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's the cast. That is the cast of the Eternals. We're going to throw it over to Keith for the plot.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
I'm having a good old time, guys. Let's go with the plot and then keep it short and sweet. Shit happens. That's a plot. I'm just playing. So the Eternals is about a group of people who are basically immortal. They were sent to Earth in 5000 BC to protect the Earth from a group of monsters called the Deviants. The Deviants feed on humans, and the Eternals are tasked with keeping the deviants from eating humans. But they cannot interfere with the humans and their civilization and their technology. And of course, the entire movie is basically them interfering, to be honest. And to keep it short and sweet, it really is. They interfere with a lot of stuff. Festos apparently made the atom bomb, I guess. So we saw a scene of Hiroshima. Crazy. So it's a whole thing. Throughout the movie, they show them in present day, then they show them in different timelines throughout the history of the world. Like I said, they were here in 5000 BC. They were in Babylon. They were at Mesopotamia. They were at that last place. I didn't know the name of that. Where the war was happening.
Oh, Tenochtitlan?
Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Never heard of it before. What is that?
I forget where it is.
Oh, okay. So somewhere. So how did you know the name?
I remember it from school. I want to say it might have been somewhere in South America.
Yeah, like kind of like the Mayans or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Maybe like Mayans or Aztec something civilizations. Sure. I'm not sure.
So either way, through history, they have basically been a part of history. Think Wolverine, but since the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. And they show present day. They also show the creator of them, essentially. What was his name?
The
Irrational?
Celestial?
Yeah. He was a celestial, basically a big being that controls the stars and the earth and the space-time continuum or something.
Ereshkigal.
Ereshkigal. Okay. So the celestial Ereshkigal tasked the Eternals to protect the Earth from deviants. Deviants are monsters that feed on humans. They are tasked with doing this around 5000 BC. Basically before modern day, obviously. They are immortal people who live through different events throughout history, like Babylon, Mesopotamia, etc., and they, like I said, they're tasked with protecting humans, but they cannot interfere with human technology or civilization or their flow through time, I guess, whatever you want to call it. They also show them present day acting as humans, and in present day, the deviants come back and they don't know how. We find out through the rest of the movie that the deviants can actually absorb powers from the Eternals and evolve, which is what ended up happening. But they have to kill some Eternals. So in this movie, 2 Eternals do die. Technically 3. But either way, throughout the movie, we find out, spoiler alert, that the Eternals are essentially a bad guy, which is what I thought when they explained it. But the Celestial didn't tell every Eternal what they had to do. They just told them, hey, you're here to protect humans, and you can't do anything. But like Festos so eloquently put it, we are not allowed to interfere with the humans because the humans will turn to war. War will turn into life-saving alternatives. Life-saving alternative will turn into more people on Earth, which in turn, the more people on Earth will provide a celestial, will provide energy for a celestial to be born inside the Earth's crust, maybe magma. I don't know, which will then in turn destroy Earth. But they need the energy of people to do it. When the Eternals find this out, they try to stop that from happening. That's pretty much it. Yeah. It's a great introduction of all these characters into Marvel, and we will talk about the rest. So,
yes, we will.
Let's get into our likes.
All right, let's do it.
I'll let you go first.
Oh,
Tag
okay.
team it.
Okay. Tag team style.
Tag team back again.
Okay.
Get the tables.
Ooh. Okay.
I said that on an earlier episode, and I was like, I'm gonna say it again. It feels right.
I'm not sure. I didn't write down a ton, to be honest,
You
because
didn't.
I was just watching it.
Fair.
And did you write a lot?
I wrote a couple.
Okay. Well,
Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay.
Because most of what I wrote is just names.
See, that's the one thing I didn't know was names. I didn't know anybody's fucking name. And the way I would have spelled Icarus was not. That's not how I would have spelled it.
No.
Also, I thought they kept calling her Dina, not Thena. But also, I'm watching the show Superstore. Her name is Dina. So I was like, I was hearing Dina the whole time. I was like, okay. And they were like, so when I heard of Dina, Goddess of War, I was like, isn't that Athena? And I was like, Athena. Idiot. I was like, I got it. First, like, opening scroll. I love an opening scroll.
I liked it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gave us like a little synopsis of what was going on and what was about to happen. I don't mind reading because I can read. So didn't bother me a ton.
Yeah. And it probably knocked out like 15 to 20 minutes of just like exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. It explained Celestials. It explained the Eternals. And yeah. And I was like, all they got to do is put that bitch on a 45-degree angle and we're in a different universe.
Little John Williams in there.
Right, same. So I was like, I like me an opening scroll. I can't knock it. I'm always going to like it.
I didn't mind it, to be honest. Yeah.
It was good. It was a good time. It was a good time.
I'll agree with that.
So yeah, that was my first like.
Okay.
Do you want to go or do you want me to keep going?
You keep going.
Okay, all right. But the Eternals, I like their powers. I liked everything from so I don't know the names, so you might have to help me on that. But Kamal, what was his name?
Kingo.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kingo, his powers, he had the I don't know, energy guns that came out of his hands.
Finger guns.
Had to turn them sideways. That's a kill shot. But he was getting it, and then he could create an energy ball as long as he held A.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
He was
Like,
Mega Man.
Yeah.
Charging up that Mega Buster.
he's like, yeah, was it Kirby? Does Kirby do that in Smash Bros? I think Kirby does that too.
Yeah, he can
charge
like,
up.
yeah, with the hammer. Yep.
Good time. Or I'm thinking of Metroid. Sorry.
Yeah.
But also her too.
Yeah. I mean, he could do that too. He could just steal it. Yep.
That's why. Okay, you are correct. I every time I look for Metroid, I steal Metroid's power because I'm like, easy. That's an easy out.
Just walk around with it too.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, good time. So yeah, Kingo, Sprite, her powers were kind of like deception. She was kind of like Loki, a little bit. Is that that makes sense? But
Yeah, it was like illusions.
yeah, not tricks, but illusions. But they were good. Like she made herself and what was her name? Cersei. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But she made her and Cersei like multiply into like 18 different people. They were like the same person. And so the deviant had to like figure out who was who. So that was fun. Icarus, which obviously Greek mythology, flew too close to the sun. Amazing. Also, he was Superman.
Yep.
Simple and plain.
I knew you were gonna like that.
Oh, Superman me out, guys.
They name dropped Superman and Batman in this movie.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, okay, I like that. I like it a lot. But basically, he was using his retinal scanners, or not retinal scanners. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. He uses eye beams, and he could fly, and he was super strong, and he was just. To be fair, though, they were talking at the end of the movie. They were like, "You don't want to fight me." I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you were getting your ass kicked the entire movie, though. I feel like the deviants were giving him problems.
Yeah.
Real problems.
The one was like stomping his ass into the fucking dirt.
Yes. Well, at the end, I mean, in the beginning.
Yeah, I meant at the beginning.
Yeah.
Or not the beginning, like when they were in the like the Amazon.
Oh
village,
yeah.
when they all like, well, let's split up and fight him, and the woman's just like, like lasers are like peeking out here and there, trying to look up, and he's like, no.
Oh yeah. Well, that was towards the end, but yeah, that was like towards the end. That was right before they all found out that about Ajax or whatever. Yeah. But in the beginning, though, like the one dude, they started flying with him, and like he was just like, I don't know. I feel like he wasn't really getting any good shots in or something. So I was like, okay, but he was still Superman, and it felt good. He did not fly too close to the sun.
He did have some of those sun shots though.
I noticed at the end, I was like, do it. I was just like, do it. I will cry on spot if he charges up. And then he kept going, and I was like, my son on the right on me was like, there's finally a Superman Marvel. I was like, is there? He was like, yeah. I was like, He was like, what do you mean? I was like, he died. No, he didn't. I was like, did you see where he flew?
Yeah.
He was like, he flew by the. Yeah, he flew. Well, that's literally my son. He was like, well, I was like, sorry, buddy. That man is not alive. Okay, and then you got Athena, Angelina Jolie. She was kind of great, honestly. She was a beast with that sword and the little shield. She was good. She had some moves. I loved it. Ajax, she had healing powers. We didn't really see a lot. She didn't do any fighting.
No.
She was more the healer, but cool, good, like it. Festos was a beast.
Yeah.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
He could. I don't even know how to describe his powers. How would you describe his powers?
I was gonna save this for one of my likes, but I'll say it here.
Oh, okay, no. We can save it. Let's talk later.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Druig, can we talk about him?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Druig had mind control powers, which was kind of sweet.
And he wasn't automatically evil.
No.
He wasn't evil.
I thought he was going to be evil at one point.
So did I. I was like, he was a little morally gray at one point, I felt, but then, he wasn't the bad guy.
So he was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, Here's the thing. I'm not saying I would be evil, but if I could control a whole bunch of people, I don't think that would stop me from being evil. Like, because he walked out with at least 100 people, and I was like, well, this is the bad guy. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, okay, well, he's the bad guy. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I thought about doing it, then I didn't. And I was like, better man than me. And then you have Makari. I didn't know her name either until just now. She was sweet.
Yeah.
She was basically a speed demon. She was faster than fast. I got something to say about that later. Then you had Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was just a beast.
Dude, he was so good.
Every time he put on that Thanos glove, he was beating the fuck out of everybody. When he hit Athena, and she was just out, I was like, well, she did. I thought she was dead. She wasn't dead, but I thought she was. Because he hit her like a... I was like, damn. Okay, well, he was good, and he was a good cook, apparently.
Yes.
Well, he was a good cook. He was a shitty meatery. That was disgusting.
Yeah.
Either way, he made a beer, and what did he say?
It was made from corn.
Made from corn.
And he chewed each kernel, and he fermented it with his own spit.
Disgusting.
And Cameo Nanjiani just couldn't help but drink it. Because it was all that was around.
Why are you still eating that? Stop. Yeah, so that's my the powers were everybody just looked good.
Same.
Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. I looked at the cast. I don't think I missed anybody.
I don't think you did.
They were good.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking it during the movie, and I was like, their powers were like you could call them like semi-basic.
A little bit.
They were like fast or strong, or like good with weapons, or mind control, and not that those are like basic abilities, but they're still fucking superpowers. But like, I liked that they weren't. Like, it's like Icarus could like shoot lasers and fly and shit. But, like everyone else, like pretty much had like a set. Like, here's your thing.
Yeah.
And I liked that they were so far in the MCU, like basically the first superheroes.
Yeah.
And then like you could say like everyone else since then was like, I don't know, modeled or like somehow offshoots of those abilities in different ways. And it's like, I don't know, I thought that was cool.
And it's basic is, I think, the best word for it, because like you said, they were the originals.
Yeah.
Basic is great.
Yeah, but I don't mean it, and I don't mean it in like a negative way.
No,
like she was only super fast. Yeah.
But
She was fast as fuck.
She was a beast.
Yeah.
She was kicking the shit out of Icarus.
Dude, at the end, I thought I heard your son say, like, she's a beast. Like
that was a guy next to him.
I heard it from that direction.
And I was like, yep, he's right.
Yeah.
So one thing he's been right about all fucking movie.
When she just, like, punched him into the wall, and it just started, like, cracking behind him. I was like, this.
Yeah.
This.
You kind of exclaimed, too.
Yeah,
when that wall cracked up, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
I loved it.
All right.
I loved it. I loved every minute of her.
Yeah.
She was great. She was great. So, and I didn't know her name, so I couldn't, but that's another like Makari. She was great. And first deaf character. First deaf character in the MCU. So, or superhero, I guess. That's what it says, superhero. So maybe there's another deaf character. But she signed the entire time, and they had captions come up every time. And I love the fact that everybody knew sign language. I was like, this is great.
Everybody seemed to know every language that they were speaking.
Yeah, that too.
Which, I mean,
not
if
everybody.
you've been around for, I mean, like everybody in the group, like all the Eternals, like they were speaking lots of different languages.
The one language I feel like Sprite didn't know because they said something to somebody and then they kind of translated it. I feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misinterpreted. But they did know all the language. I'm gonna just say all of them. You're right. Yeah. I'm gonna just say.
I like that because I'm like, oh, you've been around for 5,000 years. You pick up some stuff.
That's fair.
You learn if you're gonna live in the neighborhood, learn the language, I guess. Just the neighborhood being Earth.
Fair. They did. It was great. Makari was great.
Yeah.
So that's a side like, but I like because I didn't know her name, so I couldn't write it down. So yeah. So I can keep going.
Sure. How many more like individual ones do you have?
4.
Okay. Let's keep going. I'll join in.
Okay, that works for me.
Because again, most of mine I wrote I wrote almost nothing just because I was watching and enjoying.
That's okay.
Honestly.
I didn't know his name, Kingo. I wrote down Shadow Warrior.
He was amazing.
He was so fucking good. He was hilarious. Is what I wrote.
He was great.
He was so fucking good. And here's the thing, I almost said something to you during the movie. Oh, fucking face itch. But when he was doing the dance number, I was like, is he getting married? Because I don't know if you've ever been to, I don't know if he's Arabic. I think that's a correct term. But an Arabic wedding, so much fucking fun. It's fucking amazing. They just party. And that's what they were doing. I think in the movie, I think in that scene, his character was getting married. But ultimately, Kingo was a star, a movie star.
Yes,
which was great.
I think he was Indian. I think his character's Indian.
Indian, is that what? Okay,
yeah, because then he was like he said like he was part of the greatest dynasty in Bollywood.
You're right. He did say that.
It was all him.
He did say that.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like my great grandfather here, my great grandfather here.
My grandfather.
My grandfather.
My father.
My father. And then me. It was all him. Like the older posters had like mustaches on and
He
shit.
did.
Like, this is hilarious.
It was great. But it was good. Like when he first came on the screen, I was just like, this is good. And people were like laughing, and I was just like again, I said Arabic, that's my fault. But Indian weddings are great too. I've never been to one, but every time I see one on the screen, it looks so much fun.
Yeah, I was laughing at that scene because every time he was like looking at the camera, he was making like
he had
the rock eyebrow like all the way up, and he was making eyes at everybody off camera, really and I thought it was hilarious. He is funny as shit.
He is. What else have I seen him in?
The only thing that I think of when I see him is Community. And he was in like one episode of Community, but that's all I think of when I see him.
Really?
He was in the last paintball episode that they did.
I don't remember that.
It was he was one of the. I think he was like the head custodian, maybe. He lured Jeff and the dean into the like custodial museum, and there was just like a bunch of mannequins, and he was I think standing among them.
Okay, yeah.
Because remember they had like the big party, and everyone was like everyone's code name was basically Batman and various actors or forms or whatever. Yeah. That's the main thing I remember him from, and I know he's been in a million other things.
Okay, he was in Stuber. I didn't see it, but he was in that.
Didn't see that.
I saw so many commercials for it, so you've heard of it, right?
Because that was him and Batista?
Yeah, Batista.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see it.
It was like the taxi driver. He was a taxi driver, so I remember, but I didn't see it either, but I remember that. I remember him being in it. Okay, he was, okay. I'm looking at his, what's the name? Whatever you call this thing. I've seen a couple of these things, but none that I can name.
I'm sure I know I've seen him and stuff, but the main thing I think of is Community for some reason. Also because I fucking love Community.
Okay, Central Intelligence. Okay, I've seen a couple
seen
of
that.
those. Yeah. Okay, Community. Okay. Yeah, I've seen a couple of these shows. Hot Tub Time Machine. Okay.
I didn't even remember him being in that because I haven't seen that movie in easily like 7 years.
No, I agree. But he looks familiar every time I see him. I'm like, he looks familiar.
But he's funny as shit.
Apparently, he was in WrestleMania 2019. I don't know as what, but that's what it said. It as himself.
Probably as himself, yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay, sweet. But either way, what was I saying? So him, Kingo, he was so fucking funny. I wish I could remember a line or two he said, but they were just so, everything he said was gold. And then he was talking about acting. He talked to Makari because Makari was on the ship the whole time reading books. She didn't do anything else. So he was like, "Have you seen any of my movies?" She goes, "No, I don't have a DVD player." But she signs that.
Yes.
And he goes, "DVD player? It's all about streaming, baby." And I was like, "Oh, this guy.
Yes.
This guy's good."
Yes, he's like, if you don't know what an iPad is, I basically can't explain this to you.
And that's fair.
I was like, this guy's just fucking funny.
He was good.
He was great, and Karun, his valet, and
amazing.
He was basically shooting a documentary the whole time.
So fucking good.
I was getting, for one, his character, I was getting like huge Johnny Cage vibes off him.
I like
begin
it.
with.
I like it.
And then like Karun came along and he was just shooting everything, and he was great. I loved his character also.
Oh yes,
And
he's definitely a side like.
And
yes.
they like immediately someone was like, "Oh, is he your valet?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, like in Batman."
Oh yeah, he's like
Gilgamesh was like, "Yeah, like in Batman." He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're Alfred." He's like, "Yes,
Yep.
yes." I was like, "That's a good
You would
point."
not want to be Alfred. Alfred's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. But I was just like, "This is good." He was good. Haran, you said his name was?
Yeah, Karun.
Karun. Okay,
Yeah.
he was great.
He was hilarious.
He was funny.
When he first showed up on the set of his movie that they were on, I thought that was going to be it. Like they were just going to show him, and that was going to be it.
Yeah.
And he was around for like most. Like,
Well, the reason why, because when he showed up to the set, he was like, "Hey, Icarus, Cersei, whatever her name is."
Yes.
It's like, what? It's like, "Oh, I know you guys. You guys are the Eternals." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "This is great."
he's like, "Oh yeah, I told him everything."
I know everything.
Nice guy. When we first met, he thought I was a vampire. He tried to kill me with a stake through the heart.
I've apologized for that so many times.
Hilarious.
He's like, "Yeah, but it still doesn't seem like enough."
Yeah. I'll let you know when we get there. Great.
Hilarious. You are correct.
So funny.
It was good.
It was very funny. I
was
liked
good.
the two of them together.
Yes.
I loved his heartfelt goodbye scene.
Yeah.
Where he just told all of them was like, thank you for everything you've done for humanity.
Yep.
But he's out and I have to go with him. But thank you for everything.
Fair. That was a good point.
Goodbye and I love you.
Yeah.
All. Thank you.
He was a good man. He seemed like a good man.
He was funny. I thought he was great.
He was very sincere in everything he did. And they destroyed his camera.
Every time.
It's like, you got another one? Gotta have another one.
Yeah, gotta have a backup.
Gotta have a backup. And he had another one.
Yes.
How many cameras do you have? He was like, I don't even know what he said. It was and then Kingo kills a deviant by powering up as much as he could.
Yes.
And he basically powers up and puts the energy ball into the deviant's mouth. And he's just laying on the deviant's on top of him. Kingo's laying on the ground, and all his blood's all over him. And he's just like, ugh. Then he looks over. Did you get that shot? I got it.
Got it, sir. I loved it.
I was like, this is gold.
They were great.
I was like, or then when he was like, what's her name? Cersei? Mm-hmm. Am I saying that right? I don't fucking remember. But anyway, he goes, Cersei, what's your power? She was like, I can turn a rock into water. I can turn a rock into air. I can turn a rock into sand. He goes, how about you think about it, and then we'll come back to you. Icarus. And I was like, this is great.
I thought he was. He might have been my favorite. It was between him and my next was Gilgamesh. I liked them both a lot. When they first showed him fighting that fucking bull demon deviant thing outside of the gates of Babylon, and he just put his energy infinity gauntlet on, and just kept socking it to him, and then it charged him one last time, and he just powered up and just fucking slapped it in the head, and it just went into the wall. Oh man, it was like he had hit him 3 times and turned into the rock, and then the hand went straight up in the air and just
he jumped when he did it.
Shock waved off the ground. Oh, that was so good.
It's like Rick James on the Dave Chappelle skit. My extensions was flying everywhere. I had to put it.
God. But that scene, the scene where he was fighting, I guess his name was Crow, the big, the boss deviant in the jungle. That was awesome.
So good.
And then he fucking died, which was a bummer.
Fuck, it was good when he fought Thena before she got put down.
Yes.
He was beating the shit out of her. Yes. And he was holding his own. He was no slouch.
Yeah, because he was really strong and he was good at fighting, but they were she's they made it seem like she was the fighter in the crew. But then at the end of the movie, they're all right, we also don't want to fuck with Icarus because he's Superman and he will kill us all.
Nah, she wanted that smoke. Yeah. She wanted all the smoke.
Yeah.
Because she said it. She was like, I've been waiting on this.
Yeah.
He was like, you don't want to fight me. You wouldn't want to fight me either.
I would. He's like, you never fought me? But I've always wanted to.
Never fought me twice.
Twice.
Literally, I liked Angelina Jolie in this. And honestly, to be fair, and I know this is none of our likes, but Thena was good. I like the fact they called her Thena. I like the fact that she was even told the kid at the end, drop the A, not Athena. Thena. I was like, oh, that's great. Also, I like the fact that she wasn't the main character. Because I honestly thought it was going to be Angelina Jolie, then Salma Hayek, and neither of them were the main character.
Yeah, she's the biggest name in the movie.
Yeah.
Would be those two, yeah.
Absolutely. And no. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Especially when I saw when Gilgamesh knocked her out. I was like, oh well, great. She's not in it anymore.
Yeah.
It was good. That was good. Next for me?
Sure.
Anyway, I'll look at it. Superman.
Yeah.
Just take a sip out of my cup real quick.
Superman cup.
Oh yeah, my Superman cup.
Taunt me with it at this point.
Literally, not only did they say Superman twice and Batman, he was Superman. I said to Chris.
Oh, and he called him Clark after that. He's Superman.
Right before. I don't wear a cape. Yeah, I don't wear a cape. He's like, should I call you Clark?
Clark, you go by that now? Let's get inside.
Right before that happened, I looked over to Chris and I was like, he's got the jawline for it. Oh, he can be a reboot.
Yeah.
I like
it's coming.
I like what's his name, even though I can't remember his name right now, but I like him.
Oh,
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
I just realized what his name was. But this guy, he looked I was like, he could be Superboy.
When the reboot happens, which you know it will at some point, and
It has to.
in our lifetimes, you know, it's going to be another Superman movie or two.
It's got to. Because you got to have a Superman versus Black Adam movie. Got to. I would love to see it, actually. Any movie with The Rock, really.
I just want to see The Rock beat the shit out of Superman.
Same.
I mean, you know, he'd lose in the end.
Yeah.
But that first 3/4 of that movie is so good.
But all that matters is the final scoreboard, baby.
I know.
So, good times.
We had him in the first half. We really did. And once he starts losing, I will walk out of that theater.
Easy.
Like, well, I can see where this is going. Let me know who wins.
But yeah, he had good power. As everyone knows, if you don't know, now you know, I love Superman. Superman, everything about Superman is great. I don't understand the hate. I saw a thing, I almost shared it. I saw a thing a lot yesterday. It said, one gotta go. It said X-Men, why all of them, I don't know why, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. And I was like, well, this is easy. Batman's out of the fucking race. And everybody was like, Superman, easy. I was like, he's the strongest fucking character in the whole thing. In this whole thing.
Wait,
like,
it was a who's gonna win?
No, one's gotta go. You gotta pick like which one you don't want.
Oh, same. Superman gone.
Right.
Me.
But
for me.
But why? Batman is a liability if we're talking about because are we talking about who do you like more? Because let's go with that. But that's not what people talk about, Chris.
Yeah.
I understand you don't like Superman for Superman, but you don't doubt his skills.
No.
People will be like,
not in question.
oh, Batman or Superman? I gotta pick Batman. He's the best. Best at what? What is he better than Batman? Because honestly, the whole best detective thing, somebody's got to show me. I haven't seen it. Sorry. Because if anything, Alfred's the fucking best detective in the world, not fucking Batman. Also, Clark Kent be detecting some shit in his whole thing too. He's a reporter.
Yeah.
So let's not, and he can also see through fucking walls. That would make me a great fucking reporter.
Yeah.
Hello. So let's be honest about it.
And he's got super hearing.
Thank you. He can also reverse time. So
Yeah.
what? So
let's go back to the time of the scene. This happened how long ago? Fly around a couple times and we're back.
That sounded like the Batman thing.
I started doing it. I was like, well, it's just going to sound like that. Superman.
Superman. Yeah, same. But that's my thing. Like, what are we talking about? If you're talking about favorites, I'll let it go. But you're not. Maybe that's what the post was talking about, but that's not what people talk about.
Right.
People are like, oh, well, Spider-Man, X-Men, they're great.
Yes,
Batman
they
is
are.
great. Yeah. Besides Dark Phoenix, Superman, and I don't even know if Dark Phoenix can fuck with Superman, but she probably could because she has
psychic powers in addition to
And I know he's weak against magic, and I assume psychic is magic. So okay, fine. But besides that, Superman has everybody in a chokehold. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I love Spider-Man, but you put him in the room with Superman and he's dead. Come on.
Same. 99% of the X-Men are dead. I don't care about how much momentum you got, Juggernaut. Sorry. Ooh. This is not going to work. It would be a good... Yeah, see, it would be good. It would be interesting. But, come on.
Yeah.
But, come on.
Yeah.
He'd laser his ass from halfway around the world, which he could have did the fucking Batman.
If he wanted to.
I'm off topic.
If I wanted it, you'd be dead already.
If anyone who says that...
Lucky for me, you didn't want it, says Batman.
Now I'm in the corner hiding from a monster that there's nothing I can do. What did Batman do at the end of Batman vs. Superman?
He got in his car.
He got away. That's about it. Batman was like...
Two literal gods, you got this. Let me tag out. Let me chill on the apron for a minute while you two take over.
Some days. This world ain't what it used to be. Either way, Icarus was great. And I like the fact that his name was Icarus. I didn't really like Icarus, but he didn't really bother me, honestly. Even at the end, I was like, he made a mistake.
Yeah.
You can forgive him. because he reminds me of Superman. So, is what it is. But that was my next like.
Nice.
What you got?
I'm going to jump in because this is a good jumping off point since you mentioned Superman. I liked the fight against him at the end because, for one, it was a really good fight. But the main thing on my mind was it reminded me of Justice League when a newly revived Superman is awake and he is pissed and everyone is like, let's fight him. And also, second jumping off point, what I thought Festus's powers reminded me of Cyborg.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. What would you call his... I don't think... Did we ever talk about it? What would you call his abilities? I don't know. Yeah, we didn't really talk about it.
He just had, like, building and, like, technology abilities. I don't know. Like, and that's what I was like, I don't know, like, a word. I don't know if technomancy is a word that exists, but I don't know if I would call it that.
Yeah, because I think it had to been like technology or something.
Because he was building shit.
Yeah,
it looked like on the fly during that fight.
Yes.
Unless because he made the bracelets for everybody that helped him do like the Unimind thing, but he also was like, surprise! I got like gun blasters, and then he had like he like fucking took one of them off and just threw it at him, and it rolled along the ground and turned into like a big rolling wheel that just like smashed into him. But then he also had like laser shields, and he had those like I don't know like shackles that bound him to the ground and also seemed to be sapping his powers because Icarus tried to laser him and his lasers were like
I saw that too. I was like, is there kryptonite?
Yeah, I was like, dude,
Batman could never.
He was like, I've got all this
prep time my ass.
I've got all this technology and apparently all the prep time I need to make kryptonite gas. What's my finishing move? I'm gonna put a big sharp bit of it at the end of a stick.
Right.
And
Hope
it
works.
God that he doesn't kill me first.
Hope to Superman it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or it works.
Yeah.
Festus was like, I got it.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been waiting on this for so long.
Yeah.
Then he tried to fly away and he's like, nah, get back here.
Yeah.
Like super everybody's like, no one can be Icarus. Icarus was getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
The entire movie. And he was not holding back.
And they didn't even need to like kill him. They just needed to like hold him back.
Same.
They just needed to like stall him.
Which is what they did.
Yes.
Festus by himself.
He did
was
the
just
most.
like,
I'd say he did the most.
he was like,
Makari did a lot, but I think he did the most.
fair. Makari did it.
She did a lot.
She was beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, she was.
That's what I'm saying. Like everybody's like, "Oh, Icarus, Sprite," because she was in love with him. No one can beat him. Yeah, you think?
Yeah, you can't because your ability is to make copies of you
Right.
and have a knife.
Same. Loki, literally, the original Loki. Yeah, I just good times.
But yeah, that was my was like I just wrote versus Icarus because that fight was really good. But also, I'm gonna give credit where credit was due. It reminded me of a fight that I liked in Justice League, and I liked it then too.
Fair.
And I liked it again now.
The Athena fight was good too.
Yes.
Him and Athena. Like every fight that he had, Icarus had, he's getting his ass whooped. They were really good fights. Even with the Deviants, they were really good. And I was like, Athena was like, that's the best part. That was the best part to me. He literally said something like, "You don't want to fight me." She was like, "Oh, I've been waiting for this.
I've always wanted to."
I was like, let's fucking go. She's about to kick his ass. And she did. Well,
and then they had a headbutt fight. And it was
love it. I love it. And she did exactly what she wanted. And I loved every minute of it. And then when she killed Crow, Athena was a beast.
I thought she was done for, honestly, for a second.
I thought she was about to die.
Because like two of them had already died. And I was like, all right, might be a third.
I was like, because when he bound her hands, I'm like, oh, she's going to try to cut out of that. And I was like, oh. And then they showed her, she like wiggled. And I was like, oh, she's not getting out. Then they showed it again. Sword, boom, cut him in half. Looked like Resident Evil that I just watched. Yep. He fell down in little squares. I was like, yes. Roasted crow. I love it. Good times. I'm an idiot. Festus, I know we already talked about it. That's my next like.
He was awesome.
But Festus, he was great.
Yes.
He was amazing.
He was the Donatello of the group.
He was good.
For me.
He was smart.
Yeah.
His technology was great. I did like the fun part at the beginning when he was like, "Look what I just made, a steam engine." She was like, and it was like 500 BC or something. She was like, "No, they just found the circle, or they just found the wheel, or something." The other girl said,
How about this?
He's like, "How about this?
The plow.
A plow." She's like,
Because that's what it does. It plows dirt.
He was so upset. I was like, "This is hilarious." He was good though, and I like the actor.
Yes.
Good times.
Because we liked him in some other stuff. He was good.
He was good in Godzilla.
He was
Or
good
whatever.
in the Spider-Verse.
Yep, he was good. He's good in Atlanta. He's good in Joker. He was good. He's always been good. I have one more like. What else? What else you got?
Hit me with yours, and then we'll see.
You got no more?
Nah,
This last one's gonna take you out.
let's do it.
You ready?
Take me out.
If you're ready,
Do it.
all I wrote. I don't gotta look. Better than Flash.
Ooh.
Makari was a fucking beast. Makari is better than Flash. I said it. It's not an unpopular opinion. Everybody has to agree with me because she seemed faster, by the way, because she got around the earth real quick. And she was giving hands to Icarus. My God,
She did.
like that's what I wrote it. As soon as she was like, she was beating the shit out of, because he killed her man. Well, supposedly killed what was his name? Druid.
Mm-hmm.
She was pissed. So you don't want to see me angry. Let me tell you a secret.
I'm fucking pissed.
She sped up, and I love the way, because like I know Flash does it too, but he does it more of like a defensive kind of, like when he was fighting Superman, I guess running away, but like he goes really fast and he stops and he kind of like hits stuff, but it's more like a push. He doesn't. She was shoulder charging motherfuckers. I was like, well, okay. She like, and then they showed like a force, like after she hit, like Icarus, he like boom, 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 and like he flies. I was like, he didn't fly on his own. He flew into a wall, and then she was just hitting him from every angle. I feel like they would have made it better if they would have put the Superman or the Spider-Man sound over that. It's like teleport with a kick, teleport with a punch. Like that's what she was doing. She was kicking the shit out of him, and she was kicking his ass so bad. She headbutted him so hard he burst. She was kicking the shit out to the fact the side of a volcano opened. The side of a volcano opened. I know you like Flash. Congrats.
He's not my favorite.
Makari
She was great.
Is now my favorite speedster in every movie I've ever seen, including Speedy Gonzalez. I like him too.
And Sonic.
Yes.
Okay. I can't. It's not my place to say you're wrong because you said favorite.
The best
There
of
you
all
go.
time.
Fine.
She's a GOAT.
There you go.
No one's better than her.
Okay.
In everybody's opinion.
Okay.
Including
In
yours.
everyone's opinion.
Have my opinion now. Everybody laugh.
Now. Everybody agree with me now.
I just like Makari. She was great.
She was amazing.
She was speed reading those books. When they first showed her, well, not first showed her, but when they showed her at the fucking spaceship, they were like, "What is she doing?" She always had a smile on her face. She was just. I'm done. She's great.
Yeah, she was all smiles until it was time to beat the shit out of Icarus, and then she was just letting him have it.
He was great.
So good.
She was so good. I could watch that scene again and be just as happy as I am right now. Yeah, that's my last like.
Okay.
What do you got? You got any more?
Nothing else that I wrote
Okay.
or had written. I'm not a word man. I don't think. Oh no, I did have one. Another one that I just thought of, and it doesn't. I don't think it really has to do with the movie. is to do with the characters. I loved that their names were like just close enough to gods or mythical figures from like Greek, Roman, and other mythologies, because that's, you can like kind of take it to the level like, oh well, that's where they got their names from, because they're like, Athena, you're the goddess of the hunt, like the goddess of war. The guardian of Athens is like, okay, well, duh, it's Athena. There's Icarus. It was spelled different, but it sounds the same. There was Festus, who was like Hephaestus, the Greek god, I think, of the forge. There was Macari, close to Mercury, Roman god. Druid, I don't know. Sounds like Druid, but I'm sure that's a different thing. Sprite, delicious, lemon lime, love it.
I got something else, but go ahead.
I liked it. I liked the names. I enjoyed the characters. I thought they did a good job. They introduced like 9 characters
basically
into this movie.
Almost 9, yeah, if not 9.
Ajax, the Greek hero. Like, they had all these characters, and everyone was like, oh, they're never going to be able, for Guardians of the Galaxy, everyone's like, they're never going to make this work. And there's like 5 characters.
They made it work.
And they made it work. And I think they did pretty good in this one, too. Considering they had almost twice the number of characters to introduce.
They did better with this than any Suicide Squad movie.
That is correct.
Yes, it is.
I agree.
Yes. And there was no, I do this but better. Like, there was none of that.
Yeah.
It was just great.
There was no, here's all the 20 extra characters that we're all going to kill off in like the first 20 minutes of the movie and don't matter, but we're going to put them in every fucking bit of advertisement, in every trailer, and you're going to see them all, and then you're going to see them for like 30 seconds. None of that shit.
Apparently that's what happened in Dune. Have you heard that?
No.
You're not going to watch it.
No, I have no plans to.
Same.
So I don't know anything about it. I know that there's like a couple actors in it that I think I enjoy.
Who do you know that's in it?
Just give me 2. Isn't Oscar Isaac in it?
Yeah.
Okay. And another person.
There's actually a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
Thanos is in it.
Okay.
Oscar Isaac.
So
Batista.
2 big purple Marvel people. Okay.
Yeah. Is it Batista?
Batista's in it?
Batista. I'm pretty sure it's Batista. Batista and Aquaman's in it.
Yes.
Timothée Chalamet. I don't know what he's been in, but he's in it. Zendaya's in it. That's what I thought you were gonna say. She did this. That's what they did with her. She's only in 3 scenes apparently. She is on the front of the cover. She is only in 3 scenes. Somebody said that she has less than 10 minutes of time in a 3-hour movie. And they put her out in front with her and Timothée Chalamet doing all the press. But apparently, I don't know because I didn't watch Dune, didn't know it was a book, didn't know it was an old movie.
I think it's a series of books.
Apparently, yes. Apparently, people didn't know that. So, apparently, people didn't know that. So now, people are upset at the movie because
this isn't just set up for another one.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't explain anything in the first one apparently. I heard a review of the movie. Guy said they said nothing because they're setting up for the second movie. That's why Zendaya's character wasn't in it, because she mainly is in the second movie. And she said this is what somebody said. They said that the reason why they didn't say part 1 is because people wouldn't have saw it. And I was like, fair. But also, it's like because they're trying to attract new people to watch it, not people who read the books. And I was like, I get that. That's fair.
Yes.
But I mean, name a movie that goes part 1. That comes out first. No movie has. If you think about it. Like, Star Wars, New Hope, or number 4, or at the time number 1 was number 1.
But it was just called Star Wars.
But it was just called Star Wars.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dune, right? But they set it up to be a sequel, but they haven't even started filming it. I was like, sounds dumb.
It took them how long to make this one?
I know it took forever, apparently. That's why everybody thought it was gonna be the greatest movie ever.
This is one of those movies that I've been hearing about. Like, oh, it's coming soon for like
3 years,
a few years. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I mean, I already had no plans to see it. So
same. So anyway, we were talking about people being in it for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so I guess that's it. Were you done?
Yes.
We didn't talk about the ending credits, so let's talk about that. Go ahead.
I liked it.
Oh yeah, fair. I just want to talk about it.
Patton Oswalt finally gets to be in a Marvel movie, and I'm happy for him.
Has he not been in one?
I don't think so.
No, you're right. I think you're right.
And he's only in it for voiceover, but still, we have never discounted voiceover work on this podcast, and I never will.
Never.
Because I love it.
Same.
And I thought Patton Oswalt was hilarious. We introduced two new characters.
Yep.
Star Fox / Eros, the brother of Thanos.
Yes.
And I can't remember what's his name again. Pip
the Troll.
Yes.
He introduced Eros.
He was his hype man. He was his Jimmy Hart. He was his B-boy.
Oh, before we go to the next one, I was gonna say. So you were talking about Greek mythology and mythology. The best thing about this movie is how they introduce themselves into history, and I think they are Greek mythology, not like I know you're saying like, oh, it's a play on their name. I think it's like the telephone game.
Yeah,
it was always Thena.
Yeah, like their names were just close enough that people like that's what people throughout history started calling these characters and these people. Yeah,
I think they were like, hey, these are because think about it, they didn't hide who they were back 5000 BC.
Yeah, they
were like, oh, these are hugely powerful people, and I think it was like a game of telephone where through history things change. Thena the god of war became Athena the goddess of war. Icarus, he could fly. He doesn't have wings or a cape, but I think that's how it. And so I don't know if that's what you were saying, but that's when I thought about it because when she was holding the sword, it was like, oh, is that what was the sword called? The black.
Oh, the ebony blade.
The ebony blade, or is that what the girl said? Ebony blade? No, she didn't say that.
Yeah. She's like, is that the ebony blade? And she's like, no, this is Excalibur.
And it's like, oh, Arthur did like you, whatever. He did like you a lot, didn't he? And I'm like, I love how they're like, hey. Instead of showing you we've been in history, we're just going to tell you about it in a sly way. And I love that.
Yes.
I think that was great. So, but anyway. Second end credit scene.
Well,
I guess I'm not asking if you liked it. I just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
So that they know.
Okay. Second credit scene. Well, the first credit scene, we didn't really explain it.
Yeah.
It is Athena, Druig, and Makari are on their ship, I
have no idea.
Domu, in space. They've left Earth, and suddenly they can't get in contact with Earth.
Yes. And they've been looking for other Eternals.
Yes, they're out looking for other Eternals on other planets, and like this little rainbow effect starts happening on their down the hallway on their ship, lights up here and there, and then the troll dude falls out of it, does a hype intro for Star Fox, Eros, the brother of Thanos, who is also an Eternal.
Yep.
And we meet him, and then second credit scene is Dane, can't remember his last name. Whitman, Kit Harington, Jon Snow, who near the end of the movie tells Cersei, oh, my family history in the interest of cards on the table here. In the interest of full transparency, my family history is, and then like God appeared in the fucking sky above them and he got cut off.
Erisham.
Yes. He appears in the sky, takes the Eternals away, the ones remaining on Earth, takes them up to him and is like, hey, I'm pissed and I'll be back. You saved all these people. We'll see if it's the right choice, and I will come back to pass my judgment. Bye. And then in the credit scene, he is on his own, and he opens up. He has this little box. He opens up. I don't remember what he says because it was another language and I can't remember it.
And they had the lights on in our movie theater because they're idiots.
Yeah, they turned the lights on after the first credits.
I was like, what the fuck?
I forget what he said, like, death is my curse or something.
Death is my reward.
Reward, yeah. He opens up his box, it's got a sword in it, it's all wrapped up. And there's like part of the blade exposed and he moves to touch it and the blade looks like, I don't know, like almost...
Liquid.
Like liquid or like fibrous, and it looked like it was kind of like rippling or like reaching out toward him a little bit maybe. And an unknown voice, who apparently some people think to be a certain character we haven't seen yet, says, "Don't do that, son." And that's it.
And then after that, he was like, "Motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill."
The world you know was a sugar-coated topping.
So yeah, either way, I mean, excuse me. Either way, it sets up something. So
yes, both of them set up stuff that we'll see later on.
We'll see.
And we
on.
got the Eternals will return at the end. So we're gonna see more of these characters.
Yes.
So, like them or not, apparently some people didn't.
Didn't like what, Eternals?
The characters in the movie.
Yeah, because they're dumb.
This movie it seems to have gotten review bombed.
Yes.
Because
before it came out.
Yeah, because people are like, oh, it's got multicultural representation. It's got strong female lead characters and representation. It's got gay characters represented and some
disabled.
And people with disabilities. Some people just don't like that shit in movies. They also probably don't like it in real life. And they're pieces of shit. They're not pieces of shit because they review bomb the movie. They're pieces of shit because of that.
They also are pieces of shit for that.
But they're also pieces of shit for review bombing a movie. But
because all the headlines are like, "Oh, Marvel made its first Rotten Tomato movie." No, they didn't.
Yeah,
they did not. No, what they did was they pissed off a lot of fanboys who don't shower.
Yeah,
that's what they did.
The movie had terrible scores before it released.
Before it even released.
Yeah,
and it's funny because you know what? I didn't know this because I never heard the speech. Someone said that's the reason why Brie Larson's movie didn't get great reviews. Because she got up and said, this is her words, not mine, that the reason why, apparently, this is paraphrasing, I guess, the reason why movies like Thor, Captain America, Avengers, all these movies get great reviews is because there's only 16 reviewers and they're all old white men. She was like, since I don't look like him, Captain Marvel's not going to do well. So of course everybody came and was like, this isn't good because she's an arrogant piece of shit. Which I love TikTok because they're like, name an Avenger who isn't arrogant. Thor's the most arrogant. He's been arrogant since day one, but we love it. Captain Rogers is arrogant, but he's confident. She was very confident. Tony Stark is as arrogant, womanizing as it be. Everybody loves him.
That's his whole personality.
His whole thing.
To the point where a lot of people cried when he died.
Fair. I did, but I like Tony Stark. Fair. But he is a womanizer. Yeah. I understand. He's also not the best Avenger. I get that too. So my thing is, she is absolutely correct. Because this movie came out, there's 16 reviewers. I guess again, this is what I found out. There's only a certain number of reviewers who see the movie before it comes out, and they all gave it bad scores. Why? Because the only person who looked like you was a bad guy, and that's literally what happened. Think about it. All the women were good guys. The black character, good guy. The disabled character, good guy. Who else? The gay character, good guy. The Asian character, the two Asian characters, I guess, or Indian, Asian, whatever. Good guys. The only bad guy was the white, blonde hair, blue eyed man who looked like a Clark Kent knockoff. That's why I got bad reviews. And it sucks. And that fucking sucks. Because everybody who's seen it that I've, like on Facebook, like, oh, I saw the Eternals. Loved it. Yeah.
I looked on IMDb right before I looked at the cast. It has a 6.9.
Saw that.
Basically a 7. In my opinion. I don't think that's a bad score.
It's not a bad score. No. Not at all. 7's fine.
Yeah.
That'll be what, like a 3.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair for us. That's a fair score.
Yeah.
Not a bad one. Not a great, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's okay. But again, this is an origin story. So, to me,
For a lot of characters, too.
Origin stories aren't the best,
Not always.
but they can be.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really. Whatever. I just think it's dumb. People are stupid.
Yeah. And these are characters that if you don't really read the comics a lot, you're not going to know who they are.
Right.
I barely know who they are. I don't read a ton of comics, but like throughout my years, I've consumed a fair amount of Marvel media between comics, shows, movies, and video games. I've consumed a fair amount of Marvel media, and I had some idea that these characters existed. I could not have named you any of them before sitting down and watching this movie.
Right. Fair.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there in similar situation. And if that contributes to it, then that's fine. But
I don't think that's fair.
I shouldn't say it's fine. If that contributes to it, I can see it. But if you see the movie, it fixes that. The movie explains who these people are.
Fair.
And it literally explains to you where they come from, who made them, why they are what they are, and what their purpose is. And then why they choose to defy that purpose.
Right. I agree with that, but I know you changed it, but I disagree with the fact that if new characters, if people have an issue with that, it's fine. I know you changed it,
Yeah.
but that's how people feel. Every movie has new characters.
Yeah.
Any movie has new characters.
Yeah.
We watched Knives Out a while ago. You don't know these characters from day one.
Exactly.
So you shouldn't like any new movie that has no continued movie.
Yeah.
Simple and plain.
Because they're all new characters every time.
But that's not how it works.
That's fair.
And since it doesn't work that way, that's a shitty reason not to like a movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Because that's one thing that, if we got to keep it in Marvel, that's something they were worried about with Guardians of the Galaxy. Those were characters that, again, they're pretty lesser known characters, and they made them. They just had a fucking video game come out this week, a Guardians of the Galaxy video game.
Yep.
They're getting a Christmas special on Disney Plus.
They are.
They've had 2 movies. They've been in the last 2 Marvel Avengers team up movies.
Yep.
And they're gonna be in at least getting a third movie of their own,
Thor.
plus probably Thor.
Yep.
They went from being relative unknown characters to they've been in a million things and merchandising and everything. These characters are I'm imagining, likely to do the same.
As we sit here doing this podcast, my lovely fiance bought me a poster of all the Marvel characters. Everyone. You see Ego in the corner. You see a couple Celestials. A lot of people I don't fucking know. Does everybody here deserve a movie? No. But if they're in a movie, just let them be in a fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's it. Apparently, this fucking dog's going to be in a movie. I think, did I see that somewhere?
Dog's been in a movie.
Yeah, it's been in, which movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's what it is. I couldn't think. I was like, I've seen him before.
Yeah.
Fucking Howard the Duck was in the movie, and everybody was like, oh my God, Howard the Duck. Did you watch the 80s movie?
Nope.
Because it was shitty.
That's what I hear.
And it was R-rated, and it was shitty. No one cares. But either way, we can't fix the world. I'm no Superman.
One podcast episode at a time.
I'm trying.
We will.
I'm trying. Either way. Let's get into some dislikes.
Ooh, before we do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
before we do that, this is a Marvel movie. I was thinking about it as we were watching the movie for the segment that we do now. Where would you put Stan Lee cameo?
Damn it.
I did not see a spot where I thought that could have been Stan Lee. I really didn't.
I got one.
Okay.
It would have been out of place, but still, it would have worked. No. Now I'm going back and forth between a couple places. Okay. When they were trying to steal from Makari at the beginning, when she was like, She was like, just lie to her, because she brought back some stuff and they were going to trade with her. And she was like, I can't hear you, but I can feel your vibrations, and I can feel your vibrations when you talk. Those two guys, they were trying to shortchange her. They were there for like 5 seconds. They had a line.
Okay.
But Stan Lee being an older white man,
yeah,
they were in like Mesopotamia.
Yeah,
that's wouldn't have worked.
That's mostly what I mean. Is like, I can't think of where he would have fit in, because even in the scenes where they were in like present day London, it would have had to been in there, like when they were at a bar or something. It would have had to be like a blink and you'll miss it thing, because like nobody really had lines.
They would have had to make him.
There was no bus. They would have had to insert like a bus driver scene.
They would have had to make him. What they did, they already did this, but they had to make him a DJ in the club.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah, they would have had to put him in somewhere. It had been like a quick cut, and then like that's it. Because they were dancing at a club once.
Okay, yes, that could have worked. But like, yeah, that's the only thing that I could think of. Yeah, because definitely any of the cutbacks, they were in like South America or somewhere in Europe or like India or Northern Africa or somewhere where they were not like surrounded by white people.
Fair. When they went to Festus' house,
okay,
he could have been a neighbor.
Yes,
he could have been a neighbor.
He could have. They could have redone an X-Men.
I was just
a dude with a hose.
You know what would have been great? He's like, "Hey, you're Superman. I saw you on TV. He doesn't look like Superman." And like, still, like, it just in the back, like Stan Lee, like.
Okay, yeah, that would have been good too.
Yes, that would have been great. He doesn't look like Superman. Like, what do you know? Like something dumb, but it would have been great.
That would have been good. Yeah.
Damn it, Stan Lee. Damn it, that guy. I forgot about it because I thought about it at the end of the movie, and I was gonna say, I didn't see anything because I didn't.
I did. Yeah, I didn't. But when you said the club scene and then the neighborhood scene, I was like, yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked.
The neighborhood scene would have been great.
Yes.
As he's fixing the bike, they're throwing a football, throw it over to Stan Lee. He catches it. Back in my day.
Good times. That would have been good.
Damn it, Stan Lee, we miss you. Okay. Dislikes.
Okay.
No Stan Lee. That's what. Every movie.
You did say it was going to be in it all the time.
Do you want to go? Do you have any?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
This movie was about 2.5 hours long. It felt a little long sometimes.
Agreed.
But it's hard for me to call it a dislike. Like in earnest, like I enjoyed this movie. It felt a little long sometimes, but also we've already talked about this. They were doing the intros and origins of like 9 characters that will return in this phase at least of movies, I'm guessing.
And they were going back and forth in different times.
Yes, but I like that.
So I do too.
So I can't even. It's tough to say.
I agree with you, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I had a dislike, not what you said, but I think this plays on it. Heavy on the love. There were a lot of scenes between Icarus and what was her name? Cersei.
Yeah,
I did not care about.
There were a lot.
I looked because we said after the movie, I was walking. I was like, "Is this Spider-Man 2? What the fuck?" But like seriously, also, what the fuck? Because like it wasn't too much, but it was heavy.
Yeah, it wasn't over the top, and because it was important to the storyline. It
was important,
but there was a lot of it. I'll agree. Yes,
there was too much of it, and there was too much of there was too. This is why I felt long to me, because the sex scene in it far too long
and surprising.
She was very surprising to the point I looked over at Chris and was like, did not expect this.
Yeah.
Like they were naked, he was on top of her, and she was getting penetrated.
Had Festus invented the plow yet? At that point in the
Icarus did.
If not, he stole the patent from somebody else.
It was heavy on the love, and to me, I didn't know that was going to be part of it. So when I saw it, I was like, okay. The first look, oh, that's beautiful, and then he goes, sure is, and they look at each other. I'm like, okay, they're gonna fall in love.
There you go.
Bye, got it, cool. Then they fall in love again later. Then they fall back in love again later again. Then they have sex on the desert. They start kissing. excuse me, they start kissing, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then they're kissing for it was a good 10 seconds. I was like, okay. Excuse me. And then they cut away from the kissing, and I'm like, all right, good, it's over. And then they're having sex, and I'm like, what did we need? We knew what was about to happen. It was, you know what I mean? So like that was about a good 10 seconds. So I was like, this is kind of awkward. And then they fall in love again.
And they got married.
And then they're holding hands. She's breathing on the nape of his neck. Mm-hmm. And then they have to hold hands again. I was like, okay, we get it. They like each other. Fuck.
They did.
Heyo. But yes, I'm agreeing with you because heavy on the love, and being a long movie, I think both are. Yeah,
that's really my only complaint.
I have two more. Okay. One I just made up, and the other I wrote down. That has nothing to do with the movie. There were a lot of fucking talking in our theater. Fuck this.
Yes.
There was a kid who was just talking. Like, what the? She wasn't talking about the movie. She was like, I was like, am I the only one hearing this?
This kid here by themselves?
Because at this, I was like, come on, take her out. She doesn't want to be here. And it was a couple quiet scenes, and I just heard her talk. I'm like, at least if she was talking, she would have been like, hey, what's going on? No, none of that. She was just talking like she was on the phone. I was like, God, do your business elsewhere, lady. Also, I'm going to say it because I just remember the audible disgust of the gay character kissing his husband. Dumb. People are idiots.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say about it. Not going to give them much time.
Because that was the other problem that people had with the movie.
Again, people are dumb.
Dumb.
Last, I wish they would have spent not spent more time with Arisma. The fuck was the celestial name? Arisma. Either way, the celestial.
Fuck. They said it like a million times.
They really did.
I cannot remember it.
Erishim,
yes.
Erishim. I was close. I was so close. I don't wish they would have spent more time with him. I wish they would have cleared up his voice more. I didn't understand what he was saying sometimes. There were a couple of times where I was like, what did they say? And it was kind of, it wasn't that the music was low or the music was high or anything. It was just kind of like jumbled. And as somebody who talks that way, it can be very, very annoying. But again, this is a little nitpick.
That's fair. I feel like, but also I feel like I've been spoiled by watching things with subtitles at a whim.
Same.
Like, I didn't catch that. Let me rewind it and put the captions on.
I was listening to a podcast of ours earlier, and we were talking about subtitles. You're like, I'm starting to get a hang of it. I'm like, well, me too, because that's all I watch. And yes, it is missed on the big screen.
Yeah.
But there are some people in the deaf community or hard of hearing community who have been lobbying to get subtitles on every screen. I would not be opposed to that.
I don't think that I would either, to be honest.
Because I heard the lady, she was like, you can literally put them at the bottom of the screen and nobody would notice. And I'm like, yeah, with those big movie screens, no one cares. And nothing happens down there ever. Yeah. You could do it. And I'm like, please, because I can't hear or understand, but I can read.
Yeah, see, I'm used to reading and watching stuff and hearing stuff at the same time because I watch anime subtitled, so I'm used to it. I've got some training.
There it is.
For some reason, it's harder for me if they're like speaking English and I'm reading English at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, because I try to
I love it.
Instead of watching the characters, I'm watching the words, even though I'm hearing exactly what's being said. I find myself focusing on that more than what's happening sometimes.
What I've realized is that our brains pick up stuff even when we don't notice. Mm-hmm. So when things happen and I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, he's gonna make a smirk or something because I read it. And then I read it at the same. I don't ever read ahead. I try not to. Sometimes I do. But I try not to read ahead. So when it comes up and they're speaking and I hear it, I'm like, oh, he's going to make a smirk. Okay. I think our brains pick up on stuff like that So I haven't really missed much. I haven't had to go back and like rewind, like what just happened because I was reading the subtitles. I noticed the more and more I read subtitles, the less I miss. So that's why I do it all the time, because I'm like, but see, I feel like without subtitles, I miss so much more because I'm trying to hear what they say and see what they're doing, and it's not the best. I'm not the best. So either way, Slushie Meter. Same. I'm in between two scores.
I feel like I know what I want to give it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Ooh.
Like, I'm between a 3.75 and a 4.
Nice.
I like this movie. I can't tell you that I would sit down and watch it like a million more times having just seen it.
Fair.
But I really did like it.
It's a good jumping off point.
And maybe it's because I can be a contrarian sometimes. And everyone's like, oh, this movie was bad.
Same.
I was like, you know what? It was good.
It wasn't a bad movie.
Was it amazing? No. I saw a tweet the other day about Venom. It was like, Venom's not a good movie, but it's a good movie.
Fair.
And I was like, yeah, because it's not
Starship
great.
Troopers, baby.
It's not great, but it's you can't call it terrible.
No.
Like, because it's entertaining.
Yeah.
And and the second one was even better.
Oh.
So, like...
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You were talking about Venom.
Yeah, about Venom at least, yeah. Starship Troopers, I never saw the second
No.
one.
I thought you were talking about the Turtles. I thought you went back to talk about the Turtles. So when you were like, the second one's good, I was like, Chris, how?
I'm back from the future, and people really don't like the second one.
It is heavy,
and
Doc.
It is good. But yeah, like, I enjoyed this movie. It's you know what? Let's just commit 4. Hard and fast. 4. Boom.
That's what Icarus said.
Just like how, damn it.
Sorry.
Stole my joke.
Sorry. This is how you know we hang out far too much.
But yeah, I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna give it a 4. I liked it. That's not me saying like a lot of movies in the past that I've given a good score to. I'm like, I could watch this a million more times the next few days. This is not the case. I could watch it more, but this movie is a lot to take in. It's a lot. Again,
Agreed.
That's what Cersei said. This movie had a lot of dialogue, it had a lot of information, and it had a lot of stuff to establish more stuff, which I enjoyed. I did not dislike it.
That's kind of how I feel about Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot going on in the first one.
Yeah.
That's why I like the second one better.
Okay.
Because we knew everybody at that point.
That's fair.
And so when I know everybody, I don't have to be introduced, and we can just start. And that's how.
The start of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Exactly. It's like the origins of. Yeah, and then like the Angelina Jolie, she was in this. She was in Marvel, wasn't she? She was his mom in Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure that was her.
I thought they used an older lady.
I mean, she had cancer. I don't think she was old. Remember? Because it was just cancer. Because he was like 6.
No, I have to look.
6 or 8. But either way, the first Guardian of the Galaxy started off kind of sad. Very, very sad. So there's that. So for me, I just kind of, origin stories, you take in a lot of information and then it's like, okay, cool. Especially with team up movies like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So for me, I was between a 3.5 and a 4.
Okay.
And to be contrarian, I'm going to go 4 as well.
Good man.
Because it was a good movie. And honestly, I would watch those action scenes again.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like, the parts that entertain me, I would definitely want to watch again. So could I sit through the parts that were kind of long or... Yeah, sure. I can make fun of them. I can do it. Because every movie's like that. Think about it. Any movie you like, and you've seen it a million times, what parts are you going to pay attention to? Specifically Marvel. The action scenes.
Oh, definitely.
If I've seen it a million times, the action scenes. When Endgame comes on, think about it. Endgame, there's hardly any action for an hour.
Not till the end.
Well, the first
he gets
part,
his head chopped off.
But then for the next hour, there's no action.
Not really.
There's no fighting.
You just get like the Marvel's Avengers greatest hits.
Same.
And I loved it.
Oh, when they go back in time?
Yeah.
That's not even in the first hour, though.
No.
Remember, it's a 3-hour movie.
Yes, it is.
The first hour is nothing. I can be on my phone through that part. She cries into the peanut butter sandwich. And then we get Ronin. Because that's the first act. We get Ronin. And I'm like, this is the end of the first act. This was a great act because Ronin is here. Easy. That's where I'm at. And then after that, it's game on. So, either way, so 4.
She does kind of look like Angelina Jolie.
Was it not her?
A little bit, no.
What was it? What was her name?
Laura Jane Haddock.
Don't like her. Damn it. It looked like her, though. I always thought it was her. But I could be wrong. It's not usual.
But you're doing it gracefully, though.
Damn right. So, either way, 4 is all around.
Yeah.
Good movie. I would say go see it in theaters. I think it was a good see in theaters. Do you ever miss much when you see it on TV? Like if you watch a new movie on TV?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think you like? Oh man, I wish I could have saw this in theaters. Have you ever said that about a movie?
That I hadn't seen in a theater?
Yeah.
Like if I've seen it for the first time on like Netflix or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if
because I don't think I've ever said that, and that's people's gripe about everything going to digital. Like, oh, I could have saw this in the big screen. Honestly, with the way TVs are now, I'm good, and I'm comfortable.
I mean, we've definitely gone and seen movies, and I have said like, "Oh, I'm glad we saw us in a theater." Like Mortal Kombat, I was glad we saw it in a theater.
Absolutely, I agree.
Glad we saw it in a theater.
Facts. But I've never seen a movie outside of the theater, and I was like, I should have saw this in the theater.
I don't know. If
I can't think of one, to be fair.
I don't know if I have. Yeah, because I've seen all the new Star Wars movies in theaters since like Episode 1.
Fair. So, like for me, the way I'm thinking of it is, when we watch.
Maybe Doctor Strange, because I definitely didn't see Doctor Strange in the theaters. I like rented it to watch it.
Maybe. But when I watch Doctor Strange now in my TV, I'm like, this is great.
That's fair.
Like, that's the thing. The TVs are so big now.
Yeah.
That, like, I can barely keep up on my TV, let alone a movie screen.
I could use a bigger TV.
Facts.
I deserve it.
Listen, facts. I want to get like a projection thing. Let me stop. Dream talk, baby.
Remember me as the guy who pulled down the screen.
Sorry, guys. I wish I saw The Office on the big screen. At least Threat Level Midnight, which we haven't watched yet, and we should. And we should do an episode on.
I'd be down.
YouTube, 37 minutes. I've seen it. I haven't watched it because I've been waiting.
I have not watched it either.
I've been waiting to watch it. I thought you said you seen it.
No, I'm saving it.
What?
I've seen that it exists. I have not watched it. No.
Yeah, fair. Well, great. Good time.
I've seen the episode
several
times.
It's 37 minutes. That's going to be an hour and a half episode.
Probably, honestly. That's a conservative estimate.
Speaking of hour and a half, let's get out of here.
There we go.
That was... Because we will go off on a tangent and just start talking. That was The Eternals 2021. Stay tuned. Eternals Part 2 2023. I don't know, maybe. Probably. Actually,
Man.
I think I'm right.
Next Eternal is probably going to come up for the next Dune, so.
Dune. Yeah, in your bra.
Get the fuck out of here.
I sent you that the other day, too.
Yes, you did.
What was I talking about? It's dumb, but it's funny. I don't even know. It wasn't even anything.
Let's go to the videotape.
Well, we should watch that, too.
Yeah. It says, yeah, they're only bigoted about movies. Yeah, in your bra. It just makes no sense, but I love it. You gotta love Liar Liar. Come on. You gotta give it up for the man, Jim Carrey, Dr. Robotnik.
Hilarious. Okay, let's stop this before it goes too far. So that was the Eternals. Make sure you watch it. Our next movie, God only knows. Stay tuned though. Spider-Man: No Way Home, Matrix 4 coming up soon.
Yes.
Something comes out in
gosh.
January. No, it doesn't. Stay tuned for everything else to be pushed back. Yeah. That's about it, man. That's all I got. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, this has been Keith.
And Chris.
We'll see you later. Later.